President Trump can decide purely on his own whim whether to launch a nuclear attack. This is the same President Trump who has said that he would rain down fury and fire on North Korea if they did not abandon their nuclear program. This, of course, is the same President Trump who has promised to spend another $1 trillion on increasing the American nuclear threat to the world. We have to call attention to these realities. We have to call upon everyone in decision-making power to pay attention to this, to insist that the United States agree never to launch a preemptive attack, that the United States commit itself to obey international law, which requires all countries to divest themselves to get rid of all their nuclear weapons. That
peace-loving people of this world, we need to get together in order to be the counterforce. There is a global force for war. We need to be the global force for peace. Just like last weekend, we saw Boston standing together and standing strong against the violence of white supremacy and racism. In the same way, we need to stand together against the violence of militarism and a foreign policy based on economic and military domination. And when we stand together as one community against violence at home and against violence overseas, then we are truly unstoppable as a power together. And more than anything, I want to stress that we allow ourselves to be divided and conquered at our peril. The important thing is for us to connect the dots and understand that these are part of the same monster that Martin Luther King described as the triple evils of racism, militarism, and economic predatory capitalism, whatever you want to call it, neoliberalism. It's those three which are sort of very much connected at the hip. So you don't have to feel like you're getting whiplashed from one emergency to the next. This is all part of the same emergency. And the more we stand together, the more we are unstoppable together to solve that emergency. In South Korea, where I had the great pleasure recently to travel along with the Solidarity Peace Coalition, sponsored in part by the Hopai Lame Foundation, about 30,000 U.S. troops. They are flexing their muscles right now in these so-called war games. I don't know how anybody can call them a game. This is not a game. This is a dress rehearsal that could become the real thing at any moment. As a part of those games, they have 50,000 South Korean troops that are activated and 17,000 U.S. troops, plus their bombers and their nuclear submarines. And we happen to have a policy of first strike, that is a first unprovoked nuclear strike, which we could enact at any moment. So what country in their right mind would not be trying to develop a nuclear deterrent? And this has gone on for decades. That is why we are now in the position where suddenly we are presented with the prospect of a developing missile and nuclear program. Many times North Korea has come to the negotiating table. Many times, and recently, only a few weeks ago, they again said they would come to the negotiating table if the United States truly, in good faith, agreed to back off of our war games and our nuclear threats.